CLEP English Literature Jane Austen Review. Question 1. Can Beowulf help identify which author? Option A. Salman Rushdie. Option B. William Shakespeare. Option C. Anonymous Old English poet. Option D. Ben Jonson. The correct answer is option C. Anonymous Old English poet. Anonymous Old English poet fits because Beowulf is an Anglo-Saxon heroic epic built around monsters, loyalty, fame, and alliterative verse. Ben Jonson is linked to Volpone, William Shakespeare is linked to Hamlet. Salman Rushdie points instead to Midnight's Children, so it does not match this clue. Question 2. Testing a CLEP-style clue on a CLEP study card, which writer belongs with Paradise Lost? Option A. Samuel Johnson. Option B. John Milton. Option C. James Joyce. Option D. Geoffrey Chaucer. The correct answer is option B. John Milton. John Milton fits because Paradise Lost is a blank verse epic on the fall, Satan, obedience, free will, and divine justice. Samuel Johnson is linked to preface to Shakespeare. James Joyce is linked to Ulysses. Geoffrey Chaucer points instead to the Canterbury Tales, so it does not match this clue. Question 3. Identify the writer normally connected with Tom Jones. Option A. Daniel Defoe. Option B. Geoffrey Chaucer. Option C. Virginia Woolf. Option D. Henry Fielding. The correct answer is option D. Henry Fielding. Henry Fielding fits because Tom Jones is a comic realist novel known for an intrusive narrator and carefully plotted action. Daniel Defoe is linked to Robinson Crusoe. Virginia Woolf is linked to Mrs. Dalloway. Geoffrey Chaucer points instead to the Canterbury Tales, so it does not match this clue. Question 4. Tracing a CLEP-style clue. If you see Salman Rushdie, which title should you remember? Option A. Pride and Prejudice. Option B. Great Expectations. Option C. Midnight's Children. Option D. Beowulf. The correct answer is option C. Midnight's Children. Midnight's Children fits because it is Salman Rushdie's work, a post-colonial novel using magical realism to connect personal and national history. Beowulf is associated with anonymous Old English poet. Pride and Prejudice is associated with Jane Austen. Great Expectations belongs with Charles Dickens, not this author clue. Question 5. If a passage context shows witty comedy of manners, political satire, and a renewed theatre after 1660, which period is likely? Option A. Romantic. Option B. Anglo-Saxon/Old English. Option C. Restoration. Option D. Postmodern. The correct answer is option C. Restoration. Restoration fits because it is commonly linked with witty comedy of manners, political satire, and a renewed theatre after 1660. Anglo-Saxon/Old English is different because that period centers on heroic epic and alliterative verse. Romantic and postmodern point to other historical patterns, so they do not match this clue. Question 6. Preparing a CLEP-style clue, which work includes Clarissa Dalloway? Option A. Don Juan. Option B. The Remains of the Day. Option C. Sonnets from the Portuguese. Option D. Mrs. Dalloway. The correct answer is option D. Mrs. Dalloway. Clarissa Dalloway anchors Woolf's modernist single-day novel of memory and consciousness. Elizabeth Bennet is in Austen. Tess is in Hardy. Belinda is in Pope. Question 7. Studying a CLEP-style clue, can you name the literary term for a poem of mourning, often reflecting on death and loss? Option A. Dramatic irony. Option B. Elegy. Option C. Villanelle. Option D. Metonymy. The correct answer is option B. Elegy. Elegy fits because it means a poem of mourning, often reflecting on death and loss. Dramatic irony and villanelle refer to different literary concepts, not this exact clue. Metonymy is also different. Ode praises or meditates formally, satire mocks folly, ballad tells a song-like story. Question 8. Recognizing a CLEP-style clue among these choices, which one explains a passage where a poem builds an elaborate, surprising comparison between unlike things? Option A. Rhyme scheme. Option B. Kenning. Option C. Conceit. Option D. Simile. The correct answer is option C. Conceit. Conceit fits because a conceit is an extended and often intellectually unusual comparison, especially common in metaphysical poetry. Kenning is wrong because kenning is a compact Old English compound metaphor. Simile and rhyme scheme describe different features, so they do not fit this clue. Question 9. Can Pride and Prejudice help identify which author? Option A. Elizabeth Barrett Browning. Option B. Jane Austen. Option C. Christopher Marlowe. Option D. Alfred, Lord Tennyson. The correct answer is option B. Jane Austen. Jane Austen fits because Pride and Prejudice is a novel of manners centered on courtship, class, irony, and moral judgment. Christopher Marlowe is linked to Dr. Faustus. Alfred, Lord Tennyson is linked to In Memoriam AHH. Elizabeth Barrett Browning points instead to sonnets from the Portuguese, so it does not match this clue. Question 10. Considering a CLEP-style clue on a CLEP study card, which writer belongs with Othello? Option A. William Shakespeare. Option B. Samuel Johnson. Option C. Thomas Hardy. Option D. Jane Austen. The correct answer is option A. William Shakespeare. William Shakespeare fits because Othello is a tragedy built around jealousy, manipulation, race, and trust. Samuel Johnson is linked to Preface to Shakespeare. Jane Austen is linked to Pride and Prejudice. Thomas Hardy points instead to Tess of the D'Urbervilles, so it does not match this clue. Question 11. Reviewing a CLEP-style clue during terminology review, which term matches a figure of speech using a part to represent the whole or the whole for a part? Option A. Heroic couplet. Option B. Foreshadowing. Option C. Synecdoche. Option D. Assonance. The correct answer is option C. Synecdoche. Synecdoche fits because it means a figure of speech using a part to represent the whole or the whole for a part. Assonance and heroic couplet refer to different literary concepts, not this exact clue. Foreshadowing is also different. Metonymy uses association, simile compares with like or as, caesura is a pause in verse. Question 12. Testing a CLEP-style clue, how would a clue about Thomas Hardy most likely be answered? Option A. Pride and Prejudice. Option B. The Second Coming. Option C. Tess of the D'Urbervilles. Option D. The Remains of the Day. The correct answer is option C. Tess of the D'Urbervilles. Tess of the D'Urbervilles fits because it is Thomas Hardy's work, a late Victorian tragic novel involving social judgment, fate, sexuality, and rural change. The Second Coming is associated with W. B. Yeats. Pride and Prejudice is associated with Jane Austen. The Remains of the Day belongs with Kazuo Ishiguro, not this author clue. Question 13. Comparing a CLEP-style clue during author review, which writer belongs with My Last Duchess? Option A. Joseph Conrad. Option B. Robert Browning. Option C. Alfred, Lord Tennyson. Option D. Sir Thomas Malory. The correct answer is option B. Robert Browning. Robert Browning fits because My Last Duchess is a dramatic monologue revealing character through a speaker's controlled self-exposure. Sir Thomas Malory is linked to L.E. Mort d'Arthur. Joseph Conrad is linked to Heart of Darkness. Alfred, Lord Tennyson points instead to In Memoriam AHH, so it does not match this clue. Question 14. Recognizing a narrator whose account should not be fully trusted points to which term? Option A. Dramatic monologue. Option B. Elegy. Option C. Sestet. Option D. Unreliable narrator. The correct answer is option D. Unreliable narrator. Unreliable narrator fits because it means a narrator whose account should not be fully trusted. Sestet and elegy refer to different literary concepts, not this exact clue. Dramatic monologue is also different. Omniscient narrator knows many minds, author is the real writer, antagonist opposes the protagonist. Question 15. Interpreting a CLEP-style clue, which term describes the repetition of initial consonant sounds in nearby words? Option A. Alliteration. Option B. Conceit. Option C. Villanelle. Option D. Dramatic irony. The correct answer is option A. Alliteration. Alliteration fits because it means the repetition of initial consonant sounds in nearby words. Conceit and villanelle refer to different literary concepts, not this exact clue. Dramatic irony is also different. Assonance repeats vowel sounds. Metaphor makes an implied comparison. Satire mocks vice or folly. Question 16. Preparing a CLEP-style clue, can a CLEP item about Lord Byron point to which work? Option A. Dover Beach. Option B. The Rape of the Lock. Option C. Ode to the West Wind. Option D. Don Juan. The correct answer is option D. Don Juan. Don Juan fits because it is Lord Byron's work, a witty satirical verse narrative associated with the Byronic voice and social critique. Dover Beach is associated with Matthew Arnold. Ode to the West Wind is associated with Percy Bysshe Shelley. The Rape of the Lock belongs with Alexander Pope, not this author clue. Question 17. During author review, which writer belongs with 1984? Option A. Daniel Defoe. Option B. Jane Austen. Option C. William Shakespeare. Option D. George Orwell. The correct answer is option D. George Orwell. George Orwell fits because 1984 is a dystopian political novel about surveillance, language control, and totalitarian power. William Shakespeare is linked to Hamlet, Daniel Defoe is linked to Robinson Crusoe. Jane Austen points instead to Pride and Prejudice, so it does not match this clue. Question 18. Recognizing a CLEP-style clue. If a clue names sons and lovers, which author is expected? Option A. D.H. Lawrence. Option B. Virginia Woolf. Option C. Alexander Pope. Option D. Mary Shelley. The correct answer is option A. D.H. Lawrence. D.H. Lawrence fits because Sons and Lovers is a modern novel of psychological realism, family bonds, sexuality and class tension. Alexander Pope is linked to The Rape of the Lock, Virginia Woolf is linked to Mrs. Dalloway. Mary Shelley points instead to Frankenstein, so it does not match this clue. Question 19. Examining a CLEP-style clue. When Jonathan Swift appears in review, which title fits? Option A. Gulliver's Travels. Option B. The Tempest. Option C. Middlemarch. Option D. The Love Song of J. Alfred Prufrock. The correct answer is option A. Gulliver's Travels. Gulliver's Travels fits because it is Jonathan Swift's work, a prose satire that attacks politics, science, pride, and human folly. Middlemarch is associated with George Eliot. The Love Song of J. Alfred Prufrock is associated with T.S. Eliot. The Tempest belongs with William Shakespeare, not this author clue. Question 20. During terminology review, which term matches hints that prepare readers for later events? Option A. Foreshadowing. Option B. Pastoral. Option C. Blank verse. Option D. Allegory. The correct answer is option A. Foreshadowing. Foreshadowing fits because it means hints that prepare readers for later events. Allegory and pastoral refer to different literary concepts, not this exact clue. Blank verse is also different. Flashback moves into the past, symbolism gives objects larger meaning, irony depends on contrast. Question 21. During author review, which writer belongs with Jane Eyre? Option A. Doris Lessing. Option B. Chinua Achebe. Option C. William Wordsworth. Option D. Charlotte Bronte. The correct answer is option D. Charlotte Bronte. Charlotte Bronte fits because Jane Eyre is a Victorian Bildungsroman with Gothic elements, moral independence, and first-person narration. William Wordsworth is linked to lyrical ballads. Doris Lessing is linked to The Golden Notebook. Chinua Achebe points instead to Things Fall Apart, so it does not match this clue. Question 22. Testing a CLEP-style clue. How would a clue about William Wordsworth most likely be answered? Option A. Lyrical ballads. Option B. Dover Beach. Option C. Tom Jones. Option D. Waiting for Godot. The correct answer is option A. Lyrical ballads. Lyrical ballads fits because it is William Wordsworth's work, a landmark romantic collection favoring ordinary language, nature, feeling, and imagination. Tom Jones is associated with Henry Fielding. Waiting for Godot is associated with Samuel Beckett. Dover Beach belongs with Matthew Arnold, not this author clue. Question 23. If a poem uses a 9-line stanza with 8 lines of iambic pentameter and a final alexandrine, which device is present? Option A. Spenserian stanza. Option B. Rhyme scheme. Option C. Kenning. Option D. Foreshadowing. The correct answer is option A. Spenserian stanza. Spenserian stanza fits because it means a 9-line stanza with 8 lines of iambic pentameter and a final alexandrine. Kenning and rhyme scheme refer to different literary concepts, not this exact clue. Foreshadowing is also different. Heroic couplet has 2 rhymed lines. Blank verse is unrhymed iambic pentameter. Ottava rima has 8 lines. Question 24. Tracing a CLEP-style clue. Recognizing a 19-line poem with repeated lines and 2 repeating rhymes points to which term? Option A. Foreshadowing. Option B. Apostrophe. Option C. Villanelle. Option D. Tragedy. The correct answer is option C. Villanelle. Villanelle fits because it means a 19-line poem with repeated lines and 2 repeating rhymes. Apostrophe and tragedy refer to different literary concepts, not this exact clue. Foreshadowing is also different. Sonnet has 14 lines, ode is a formal lyric, epic is a long heroic narrative. Question 25. Interpreting a CLEP-style clue, which work is tied to William Shakespeare? Option A. Paradise Lost. Option B. King Lear. Option C. Othello. Option D. To His Coy Mistress. The correct answer is option B. King Lear. King Lear fits because it is William Shakespeare's work, a tragedy about authority, family betrayal, madness, and suffering. To His Coy Mistress is associated with Andrew Marvell. Othello is associated with William Shakespeare. Paradise Lost belongs with John Milton, not this author clue. Question 26. Can you name the literary term for a statement that seems contradictory but reveals a deeper truth? Option A, metaphor. Option B, paradox. Option C, satire. Option D, dramatic monologue. The correct answer is option B, paradox. Paradox fits because it means a statement that seems contradictory but reveals a deeper truth. Metaphor and dramatic monologue refer to different literary concepts, not this exact clue. Satire is also different, hyperbole exaggerates, allusion references outside material, enjambment carries syntax across lines. Question 27. Studying a CLEP style clue among these terms, which one names giving human qualities to an animal, object, or abstract idea? Option A, metonymy. Option B, personification. Option C, narrator. Option D, motif. The correct answer is option B, personification. Personification fits because it means giving human qualities to an animal, object, or abstract idea. Narrator and metonymy refer to different literary concepts, not this exact clue. Motif is also different, metaphor compares unlike things, irony contrasts meaning and appearance, caesura marks a pause. Question 28. Recognizing a CLEP-style clue, identify the device described as a reference to another text, historical event, myth, or cultural figure. Option A, pastoral. Option B, metonymy. Option C, epic. Option D, allusion. The correct answer is option D, allusion. Allusion fits because it means a reference to another text, historical event, myth, or cultural figure. Pastoral and metonymy refer to different literary concepts, not this exact clue. Epic is also different, allegory sustains symbolic meaning across a whole work, irony creates contrast between appearance and reality, meter concerns rhythmic pattern. Question 29. Examining a CLEP-style clue, when William Shakespeare appears in review, which title fits? Option A, Othello. Option B, Ode on a Grecian Urn. Option C, Sonnets. Option D, Ulysses. The correct answer is option A, Othello. Othello fits because it is William Shakespeare's work, a tragedy built around jealousy, manipulation, race and trust. Ode on a Grecian Urn is associated with John Keats, Sonnets is associated with William Shakespeare. Ulysses belongs with James Joyce, not this author clue. Question 30. Considering a CLEP-style clue, identify the period linked with industrial society, social reform, realism, class mobility, faith and doubt, and long novels. Option A, Romantic. Option B, Anglo-Saxon/Old English. Option C, Renaissance. Option D, Victorian. The correct answer is option D, Victorian. Victorian fits because it is commonly linked with industrial society, social reform, realism, class mobility, faith and doubt, and long novels. Romantic is different because romantic literature places greater emphasis on imagination, nature, and individual feeling. Anglo-Saxon/Old English and Renaissance point to other historical patterns, so they do not match this clue. Question 31. Reviewing a CLEP-style clue, select the term for narration that imitates the flow of a character's thoughts and perceptions. Option A, symbolism. Option B, conceit. Option C, stream of consciousness. Option D, synecdoche. The correct answer is option C, stream of consciousness. Stream of consciousness fits because it means narration that imitates the flow of a character's thoughts and perceptions. Conceit and synecdoche refer to different literary concepts, not this exact clue. Symbolism is also different, omniscient narration surveys many minds, allegory uses symbolic action, satire mocks social errors. Question 32. Testing a CLEP-style clue, how is drama focused on serious conflict, suffering, and often a fall or death usually labeled? Option A, elegy. Option B, metonymy. Option C, mock epic. Option D, tragedy. The correct answer is option D, tragedy. Tragedy fits because it means drama focused on serious conflict, suffering, and often a fall or death. Elegy and mock epic refer to different literary concepts, not this exact clue. Metonymy is also different, comedy usually moves towards social restoration, farce depends on broad absurdity, pastoral idealizes rural life. Question 33. Comparing a CLEP-style clue, if a poem uses a formal lyric poem of praise, meditation, or address, which device is present? Option A, ode. Option B, Bildungsroman. Option C, dramatic irony. Option D, terza rima. The correct answer is option A, ode. Ode fits because it means a formal lyric poem of praise, meditation, or address. Bildungsroman and dramatic irony refer to different literary concepts, not this exact clue. Terza rima is also different, epic is long and narrative, satire attacks folly, ballad tells a story in song-like stanzas. Question 34. Tracing a CLEP style clue, can Christian help identify which work? Option A, Heart of Darkness. Option B, Tess of the D'Urbervilles. Option C, The Pilgrim's Progress. Option D, Orinoco. The correct answer is option C, The Pilgrim's Progress. Christian is the allegorical pilgrim whose journey represents spiritual life. Gulliver is Swift's traveler, Hamlet is Shakespeare's prince, Prufrock is Eliot's anxious speaker. Question 35. Interpreting a CLEP style clue, which term describes a long elevated narrative poem about heroic or cosmic events? Option A, blank verse. Option B, synecdoche. Option C, epic. Option D, villanelle. The correct answer is option C, epic. Epic fits because it means a long elevated narrative poem about heroic or cosmic events. Villanelle and synecdoche refer to different literary concepts, not this exact clue. Blank verse is also different, lyric poetry focuses on personal feeling, comedy resolves conflict happily, essay presents prose argument. Question 36. Preparing a CLEP style clue, can a CLEP item about John Milton point to which work? Option A, Tess of the D'Urbervilles. Option B, Paradise Lost. Option C, Things Fall Apart. Option D, The Tempest. The correct answer is option B, Paradise Lost. Paradise Lost fits because it is John Milton's work, a blank verse epic on the fall, Satan, obedience, free will and divine justice. Tess of the D'Urbervilles is associated with Thomas Hardy, Things Fall Apart is associated with Chinua Achebe. The Tempest belongs with William Shakespeare, not this author clue. Question 37. Studying a CLEP style clue, during period review, which label matches alliterative verse, heroic loyalty, oral tradition, and a warrior culture? Option A, modernism. Option B, Middle English. Option C, Romantic. Option D, Anglo-Saxon/Old English. The correct answer is option D, Anglo-Saxon/Old English. Anglo-Saxon/Old English fits because it is commonly linked with alliterative verse, heroic loyalty, oral tradition, and a warrior culture. Middle English is different because Middle English is more closely tied to Chaucer, estates satire, and later medieval forms. Romantic and modernism point to other historical patterns, so they do not match this clue. Question 38. Recognizing a CLEP style clue, recognizing Jane Eyre and Rochester points to which work? Option A, Troilus and Cresside. Option B, Jane Eyre. Option C, 1984. Option D, Waiting for Godot. The correct answer is option B, Jane Eyre. Jane and Rochester are central to Charlotte Bronte's Gothic Bildungsroman. Catherine and Heathcliff belong to Wuthering Heights, Elizabeth and Darcy belong to Pride and Prejudice, Vladimir and Estragon belong to Waiting for Godot. Question 39. When a passage shows a compact metaphorical compound common in Old English poetry, which term fits? Option A, conceit. Option B, pastoral. Option C, kenning. Option D, tone. The correct answer is option C, ing. Kenning fits because it means a compact metaphorical compound common in Old English poetry. Tone and pastoral refer to different literary concepts, not this exact clue. Conceit is also different. Conceit is usually a longer elaborate comparison. Epithet is a descriptive tag. Metonymy uses association rather than compounding. Question 40. Considering a CLEP style clue, during work matching, which title belongs to T.S. Eliot? Option A, Heart of Darkness. Option B, Things Fall Apart. Option C, The Wasteland. Option D, Frankenstein. The correct answer is option C, The Wasteland. The Wasteland fits because it is T.S. Eliot's work, a modernist poem marked by fragmentation, illusion, spiritual dryness, and cultural crisis. Frankenstein is associated with Mary Shelley, Heart of Darkness is associated with Joseph Conrad. Things Fall Apart belongs with Chinua Achebe, not this author clue. Question 41. Reviewing a CLEP style clue, recognizing D.H. Lawrence should lead to which title? Option A, Sons and Lovers. Option B, Volpone. Option C, Waiting for Godot. Option D, Wuthering Heights. The correct answer is option A, Sons and Lovers. Sons and Lovers fits because it is D.H. Lawrence's work, a modern novel of psychological realism, family bonds, sexuality, and class tension. Wuthering Heights is associated with Emily Bronte, Volpone is associated with Ben Jonson. Waiting for Godot belongs with Samuel Beckett, not this author clue. Question 42. Testing a CLEP style clue, how would a clue about Elizabeth Barrett Browning most likely be answered? Option A, To His Coy Mistress. Option B, The Pilgrim's Progress. Option C, Sonnets from the Portuguese. Option D, Tess of the D'Urbervilles. The correct answer is option C, Sonnets from the Portuguese. Sonnets from the Portuguese fits because it is Elizabeth Barrett Browning's work, a Victorian sonnet sequence exploring love, voice, and devotion. To His Coy Mistress is associated with Andrew Marvell, The Pilgrim's Progress is associated with John Bunyan. Tess of the D'Urbervilles belongs with Thomas Hardy, not this author clue. Question 43. Comparing a CLEP style clue if a poem uses substitution of a related or associated word for the thing meant, which device is present? Option A, assonance. Option B, rhyme scheme. Option C, metonymy. Option D, allusion. The correct answer is option C, metonymy. Metonymy fits because it means substitution of a related or associated word for the thing meant. Allusion and assonance refer to different literary concepts, not this exact clue. Rhyme scheme is also different. Synecdoche uses a part for the whole. Metaphor compares unlike things. Alliteration repeats initial sounds. Question 44. Tracing a CLEP style clue, which author is most closely associated with the importance of being earnest? Option A, W. B. Yeats. Option B, Oscar Wilde. Option C, D. H. Lawrence. Option D, Doris Lessing. The correct answer is option B, Oscar Wilde. Oscar Wilde fits because The Importance of Being Earnest is a late Victorian comedy of manners built on wit, double identities, and social satire. W. B. Yeats is linked to The Second Coming. D. H. Lawrence is linked to Sons and Lovers. Doris Lessing points instead to The Golden Notebook, so it does not match this clue. Question 45. Interpreting a CLEP-style clue, can you identify the technique when nearby words begin with repeated consonant sounds? Option A, alliteration. Option B, assonance. Option C, meter. Option D, irony. The correct answer is option A, alliteration. Alliteration fits because alliteration repeats initial consonant sounds and is especially important in Old English poetry. Assonance is wrong because assonance repeats vowel sounds. Meter and irony describe different features, so they do not fit this clue. Question 46. Preparing a CLEP-style clue among these choices, which one explains a passage where a strong pause interrupts the middle of a poetic line? Option A, assonance. Option B, caesura. Option C, octave. Option D, enjambment. The correct answer is option B, caesura. Caesura fits because caesura names a pause within a line, often marked by punctuation or a natural break in speech. Enjambment is wrong because enjambment carries syntax across a line break. Octave and assonance describe different features, so they do not fit this clue. Question 47. Studying a CLEP-style clue, identify the device described as two consecutive lines of verse, usually linked by rhyme or thought. Option A, couplet. Option B, free indirect discourse. Option C, octave. Option D, tone. The correct answer is option A, couplet. Couplet fits because it means two consecutive lines of verse, usually linked by rhyme or thought. Tone and free indirect discourse refer to different literary concepts, not this exact clue. Octave is also different. Octave is 8 lines, sestet is 6 lines, stanza is a larger grouped unit. Question 48. Recognizing a CLEP-style clue, which author is most closely associated with Wuthering Heights? Option A, Samuel Johnson. Option B, Emily Bronte. Option C, Lawrence Sterne. Option D, William Shakespeare. The correct answer is option B, Emily Bronte. Emily Bronte fits because Wuthering Heights is a Gothic Victorian novel of passion, revenge, setting, and layered narration. Lawrence Sterne is linked to Tristram Shandy. Samuel Johnson is linked to Preface to Shakespeare. William Shakespeare points instead to Hamlet, so it does not match this clue. Question 49. Examining a CLEP-style clue, when Macbeth appears in a literature clue, which writer fits? Option A, William Shakespeare. Option B, Seamus Heaney. Option C, Emily Bronte. Option D, Joseph Conrad. The correct answer is option A, William Shakespeare. William Shakespeare fits because Macbeth is a tragedy of ambition, prophecy, regicide, guilt, and disorder. Seamus Heaney is linked to North, Joseph Conrad is linked to Heart of Darkness. Emily Bronte points instead to Wuthering Heights, so it does not match this clue. Question 50. Select a term for third-person narration that slips into a character's thoughts or idiom. Option A, apostrophe. Option B, tone. Option C, ode. Option D, free indirect discourse. The correct answer is option D, free indirect discourse. Free indirect discourse fits because it means third-person narration that slips into a character's thoughts or idiom. Tone and apostrophe refer to different literary concepts, not this exact clue. Ode is also different. First person uses I. Omniscient narration is broadly all-knowing. Dramatic irony depends on audience knowledge. Question 51. Reviewing a CLEP-style clue, how is drama that satirizes social behavior, courtship, class, and witty conversation usually labeled? Option A. Octave. Option B. Bildungsroman. Option C. Dramatic monologue. Option D. Comedy of manners. The correct answer is option D. Comedy of manners. Comedy of manners fits because it means drama that satirizes social behavior, courtship, class, and witty conversation. Dramatic monologue and octave refer to different literary concepts, not this exact clue. Bildungsroman is also different. Tragedy centers on suffering or downfall, melodrama heightens emotion, epic narrates heroic action. Question 52. Testing a CLEP-style clue if a poem uses a novel tracing a protagonist's growth, education, and moral development, which device is present? Option A. Epic. Option B. Pastoral. Option C. Bildungsroman. Option D. Tragedy. The correct answer is option C. Bildungsroman. Bildungsroman fits because it means a novel tracing a protagonist's growth, education, and moral development. Pastoral and epic refer to different literary concepts, not this exact clue. Tragedy is also different. Epic is a heroic poem, allegory uses sustained symbolic meaning, satire mocks vice. Question 53. Could intellectual conceits, paradox, argumentative speakers, and spiritual or erotic wit point to which literary period? Option A. Romantic poetry. Option B. Victorian realism. Option C. Metaphysical poetry. Option D. Old English poetry. The correct answer is option C. Metaphysical poetry. Metaphysical poetry fits because it is commonly linked with intellectual conceits, paradox, argumentative speakers, and spiritual or erotic wit. Romantic poetry is different because romantic poetry favors imagination, nature, and emotional intensity. Victorian realism and Old English poetry point to other historical patterns, so they do not match this clue. Question 54. Tracing a CLEP-style clue among these periods, which one matches imagination, nature, emotion, the ordinary person, and the value of individual experience? Option A. Victorian. Option B. Romantic. Option C. Neoclassical. Option D. Restoration. The correct answer is option B. Romantic. Romantic fits because it is commonly linked with imagination, nature, emotion, the ordinary person, and the value of individual experience. Neoclassical is different because neoclassical literature values order, satire, and rational polish. Restoration and Victorian point to other historical patterns, so they do not match this clue. Question 55. How should a character clue about Grendel be answered? Option A. Jane Eyre. Option B. The Tempest. Option C. The Rime of the Ancient Mariner. Option D. Beowulf. The correct answer is option D. Beowulf. Grendel is one of the monsters defeated by the hero in the Old English epic. The Canterbury Tales uses pilgrims, not monster combat. Paradise Lost centers on the fall. Wuthering Heights is a Victorian Gothic novel. Question 56. Preparing a CLEP-style clue among these works, which one is by Derek Walcott? Option A. My Last Duchess. Option B. The Fairy Queen. Option C. Waiting for Godot. Option D. Olmrose. The correct answer is option D. Olmrose. Olmrose fits because it is Derek Walcott's work, a Caribbean epic that reworks classical forms through post-colonial history and island experience. My Last Duchess is associated with Robert Browning, Waiting for Godot is associated with Samuel Beckett. The Fairy Queen belongs with Edmund Spenser, not this author clue. Question 57. Studying a CLEP-style clue, spotting that a sentence runs beyond the line break before completing its grammar should lead to which term? Option A. Caesura. Option B. End stopping. Option C. Enjambment. Option D. Alliteration. The correct answer is option C. Enjambment. Enjambment fits because enjambment occurs when syntax flows past the end of a poetic line, often increasing movement or suspense. Caesura is wrong because caesura is a pause within a line. End stopping and alliteration describe different features, so they do not fit this clue. Question 58. Should the temple be matched with which writer? Option A. George Herbert. Option B. William Shakespeare. Option C. Robert Browning. Option D. Jane Austen. The correct answer is option A. George Herbert. George Herbert fits because the temple is a collection of devotional metaphysical poems shaped by faith, pattern, and spiritual conflict. Robert Browning is linked to My Last Duchess, William Shakespeare is linked to Hamlet. Jane Austen points instead to Pride and Prejudice, so it does not match this clue. Question 59. Examining a CLEP style clue during work matching, which title belongs to James Joyce? Option A. The Rime of the Ancient Mariner. Option B. Wuthering Heights. Option C. Tess of the D'Urbervilles. Option D. Ulysses. The correct answer is option D, Ulysses. Ulysses fits because it is James Joyce's work, a modernist novel associated with stream of consciousness, mythic parallels and one-day structure. Tess of the D'Urbervilles is associated with Thomas Hardy, Wuthering Heights is associated with Emily Bronte. The Rime of the Ancient Mariner belongs with Samuel Taylor Coleridge, not this author clue. Question 60. Considering a CLEP-style clue, which author is most closely associated with Ode to the West Wind? Option A. Christopher Marlowe. Option B. Edmund Spenser. Option C. Percy Bysshe Shelley. Option D. Jane Austen. The correct answer is option C, Percy Bysshe Shelley. Percy Bysshe Shelley fits because Ode to the West Wind is a romantic ode that treats nature as destructive, creative, and revolutionary power. Edmund Spenser is linked to the Fairy Queen, Christopher Marlowe is linked to Dr. Faustus. Jane Austen points instead to Pride and Prejudice, so it does not match this clue. Question 61. Reviewing a CLEP-style clue, can you identify the technique when a prose passage ridicules pride and social corruption to criticize them? Option A. Elegy. Option B. Ode. Option C. Satire. Option D. Romance. The correct answer is option C, satire. Satire fits because satire uses ridicule, irony, and exaggeration to expose vice or folly. Elegy is wrong because elegy laments loss. Romance and ode describe different features, so they do not fit this clue. Question 62. Testing a CLEP-style clue among these titles, which one contains Pip and Miss Havisham? Option A. Preface to Shakespeare. Option B. Great Expectations. Option C. The Tempest. Option D. To His Coy Mistress. The correct answer is option B, Great Expectations. Pip and Miss Havisham belong to Dickens's Victorian novel about class, guilt, and moral growth. Tess belongs to Hardy, Stephen Dedalus belongs to Joyce, Okonkwo belongs to Achebe. Question 63. Comparing a CLEP-style clue, how should a character clue about Tess Durbeyfield be answered? Option A. The Temple. Option B. Tess of the D'Urbervilles. Option C. Macbeth. Option D. Preface to Shakespeare. The correct answer is option B, Tess of the D'Urbervilles. Tess is the tragic heroine in Hardy's late Victorian novel. Jane Eyre belongs to Charlotte Bronte, Molly Bloom belongs to Joyce, Christian belongs to Bunyan. Question 64. Tracing a CLEP-style clue during period review, which label matches order, reason, decorum, satire, heroic couplets, and classical imitation? Option A. Neoclassical/18th century. Option B. Renaissance. Option C. Romantic. Option D. Modernism. The correct answer is option A. Neoclassical/18th century. Neoclassical/18th century fits because it is commonly linked with order, reason, decorum, satire, heroic couplets, and classical imitation. Renaissance is different because Renaissance writing highlights humanism, drama, and exploration of individual ambition. Romantic and modernism point to other historical patterns, so they do not match this clue. Question 65. Interpreting a CLEP-style clue, When Midnight's Children appears in a literature clue, which writer fits? Option A. Andrew Marvell. Option B. Samuel Beckett. Option C. Salman Rushdie. Option D. Joseph Conrad. The correct answer is option C, Salman Rushdie. Salman Rushdie fits because Midnight's Children is a post-colonial novel using magical realism to connect personal and national history. Joseph Conrad is linked to Heart of Darkness, Samuel Beckett is linked to Waiting for Godot. Andrew Marvell points instead to His Coy Mistress, so it does not match this clue. Question 66. Preparing a CLEP-style clue among these terms, which one names an extended, surprising, intellectually elaborate comparison? Option A. Symbolism. Option B. Iambic pentameter. Option C. Conceit. Option D. Dramatic irony. The correct answer is option C, conceit. Conceit fits because it means an extended, surprising, intellectually elaborate comparison. Dramatic irony and iambic pentameter refer to different literary concepts, not this exact clue. Symbolism is also different. Simile uses like or as, understatement deliberately minimizes, pastoral idealizes rural life. Question 67. Studying a CLEP style clue, choose the work most closely linked with William Blake. Option A, lyrical ballads. Option B, songs of innocence and experience. Option C, sonnets. Option D, Tristram Shandy. The correct answer is option B, songs of innocence and experience. Songs of Innocence and Experience fits because it is William Blake's work, visionary poems contrasting innocence, experience, social oppression and spiritual perception. Tristram Shandy is associated with Laurence Sterne, lyrical ballads is associated with William Wordsworth. Sonnets belongs with William Shakespeare, not this author clue. Question 68. Recognizing a CLEP-style clue, which author is most closely associated with The Rape of the Lock? Option A, Alexander Pope. Option B, D.H. Lawrence. Option C, William Blake. Option D, Emily Brontë. The correct answer is option A, Alexander Pope. Alexander Pope fits because The Rape of the Lock is a mock-heroic poem using heroic couplets to satirize social vanity. Emily Brontë is linked to Wuthering Heights. D.H. Lawrence is linked to Sons and Lovers. William Blake points instead to Songs of Innocence and Experience, so it does not match this clue. Question 69. Examining a CLEP-style clue during terminology review, which term matches a situation in which the audience knows more than a character does? Option A, conceit. Option B, tone. Option C, dramatic irony. Option D, metaphor. The correct answer is option C, dramatic irony. Dramatic irony fits because it means a situation in which the audience knows more than a character does. Metaphor and tone refer to different literary concepts, not this exact clue. Conceit is also different. Verbal irony says one thing and means another. Soliloquy is a stage speech. Parody imitates style for comic effect. Question 70. Considering a CLEP-style clue among these titles, which one contains J. Alfred Prufrock? Option A, The Importance of Being Earnest. Option B, The Love Song of J. Alfred Prufrock. Option C, Songs of Innocence and Experience. Option D, Things Fall Apart. The correct answer is option B, The Love Song of J. Alfred Prufrock. Prufrock is Eliot's self-conscious speaker associated with modern alienation and paralysis. Beowulf is an epic hero, Gulliver is Swift's traveler, Othello is Shakespeare's tragic general. Question 71. Reviewing a CLEP-style clue, how should a reader label a passage where a poem presents shepherds and rural life as simple, peaceful, and ideal? Option A, Gothic. Option B, pastoral. Option C, satire. Option D, modernism. The correct answer is option B, pastoral. Pastoral fits because pastoral literature idealizes rural settings and often contrasts them with court or city life. Gothic is wrong because Gothic emphasizes terror and mystery. Satire and modernism describe different features, so they do not fit this clue. Question 72. Testing a CLEP-style clue. If a question asks for the speaker's attitude toward a subject, which concept is being tested? Option A, mood. Option B, tone. Option C, setting. Option D, plot. The correct answer is option B, tone. Tone fits because tone names the speaker's or author's attitude, such as ironic, reverent, skeptical, or mournful. Mood is wrong because mood is the feeling created in the reader. Plot and setting describe different features, so they do not fit this clue. Question 73. Comparing a CLEP-style clue, when Tristram Shandy appears in a literature clue, which writer fits? Option A, Jane Austen. Option B, Oscar Wilde. Option C, Laurence Sterne. Option D, T.S. Eliot. The correct answer is option C, Laurence Sterne. Laurence Sterne fits because Tristram Shandy is an experimental 18th-century novel famous for digression and playful narration. Oscar Wilde is linked to The Importance of Being Earnest. T.S. Eliot is linked to The Waste Land. Jane Austen points instead to Pride and Prejudice, so it does not match this clue. Question 74. Should Orinoco be matched with which writer? Option A, Mary Shelley. Option B, Aphra Behn. Option C, Percy Bysshe Shelley. Option D, Ben Jonson. The correct answer is option B, Aphra Behn. Aphra Behn fits because Orinoco is an early prose narrative associated with colonialism, slavery and heroic romance. Percy Bysshe Shelley is linked to Ode to the West Wind. Ben Jonson is linked to Volpone. Mary Shelley points instead to Frankenstein, so it does not match this clue. Question 75. Interpreting a CLEP-style clue during character review, which work belongs with the Duke describing a portrait? Option A, My Last Duchess. Option B, The Waste Land. Option C, Othello. Option D, Ellie Morte d'Arthur. The correct answer is option A, My Last Duchess. Browning's Duke reveals control and jealousy while speaking about the portrait of his last Duchess. Tennyson's elegy mourns Arthur Hallam. Arnold's lyric reflects faith and doubt. Keats's ode meditates on art. Question 76. Preparing a CLEP-style clue among these terms, which one names the voice that tells a story? Option A. Assonance. Option B. Sestet. Option C. Epistolary novel. Option D. Narrator. The correct answer is option D. Narrator. Narrator fits because it means the voice that tells a story. Sestet and epistolary novel refer to different literary concepts, not this exact clue. Assonance is also different. Author is the actual writer, protagonist is a leading character, audience is the reader or viewer. Question 77. When a CLEP-style passage shows that a poem follows 3 quatrains and a final rhyming couplet, which answer works? Option A. Shakespearean sonnet. Option B. Epic. Option C. Petrarchan sonnet. Option D. Ode. The correct answer is option A. Shakespearean sonnet. Shakespearean sonnet fits because the Shakespearean sonnet organizes 14 lines into 3 quatrains and a concluding couplet. Petrarchan sonnet is wrong because Petrarchan sonnets divide into octave and sestet. Ode and epic describe different features, so they do not fit this clue. Question 78. Recognizing a CLEP-style clue during character review, which work belongs with Satan as a grand but fallen speaker? Option A. Gulliver's Travels. Option B. Tess of the D'Urbervilles. Option C. The Fairy Queen. Option D. Paradise Lost. The correct answer is option D. Paradise Lost. Milton's Satan is a central figure in the epic about rebellion and the fall. Christian belongs to the Pilgrim's Progress, Belinda belongs to the Rape of the Lock, Heathcliff belongs to Wuthering Heights. Question 79. Examining a CLEP-style clue recognizing William Shakespeare should lead to which title? Option A. Ode on a Grecian Urn. Option B. North. Option C. A Midsummer Night's Dream. Option D. The Tempest. The correct answer is option C. A Midsummer Night's Dream. A Midsummer Night's Dream fits because it is William Shakespeare's work, a comedy that mixes lovers, fairies, mistaken identities, and theatrical play. Ode on a Grecian Urn is associated with John Keats. North is associated with Seamus Heaney. The Tempest belongs with William Shakespeare, not this author clue. Question 80. Considering a CLEP-style clue, how is the speaker's or author's attitude toward the subject usually labeled? Option A. Dramatic monologue. Option B. Symbolism. Option C. Enjambment. Option D. Tone. The correct answer is option D. Tone. Tone fits because it means the speaker's or author's attitude toward the subject. Symbolism and enjambment refer to different literary concepts, not this exact clue. Dramatic monologue is also different. Mood is the feeling created in the reader. Plot is event sequence. Meter is rhythmic pattern. Question 81. Reviewing a CLEP-style clue among these periods, which one matches pilgrimage frames, estates satire, romance, and the transition from Old to Middle English? Option A. Post-colonial. Option B. Victorian. Option C. Middle English/medieval. Option D. Renaissance. The correct answer is option C. Middle English/medieval. Middle English/medieval fits because it is commonly linked with pilgrimage frames, estates satire, romance, and the transition from Old to Middle English. Renaissance is different because Renaissance writing is linked to humanism, drama, and sonnet sequences. Victorian and post-colonial point to other historical patterns, so they do not match this clue. Question 82. Testing a CLEP-style clue, recognizing a contrast between expectation and reality or between literal and intended meaning points to which term? Option A. Irony. Option B. Soliloquy. Option C. Personification. Option D. Metaphor. The correct answer is option A. Irony. Irony fits because it means a contrast between expectation and reality or between literal and intended meaning. Metaphor and soliloquy refer to different literary concepts, not this exact clue. Personification is also different. Imagery appeals to the senses, meter organizes rhythm, symbolism uses objects to suggest larger meanings. Question 83. Which work is tied to Afroban? Option A. Tess of the D'Urbervilles. Option B. The Remains of the Day. Option C. Hamlet. Option D. Orinoco. The correct answer is option D. Orinoco. Orinoco fits because it is Afroban's work, an early prose narrative associated with colonialism, slavery, and heroic romance. The Remains of the Day is associated with Kazuo Ishiguro. Tess of the D'Urbervilles is associated with Thomas Hardy. Hamlet belongs with William Shakespeare, not this author clue. Question 84. Tracing a CLEP style clue. Can a CLEP item about William Shakespeare point to which work? Option A, The Canterbury Tales. Option B, Frankenstein. Option C, The Tempest. Option D, Paradise Lost. The correct answer is option C, The Tempest. The Tempest fits because it is William Shakespeare's work, a late romance involving Prospero, magic, forgiveness, and colonial questions. Paradise Lost is associated with John Milton. The Canterbury Tales is associated with Geoffrey Chaucer. Frankenstein belongs with Mary Shelley, not this author clue. Question 85. Interpreting a CLEP-style clue. How should a CLEP author clue for Troilus and Cressida be answered? Option A, Jonathan Swift. Option B, Geoffrey Chaucer. Option C, William Shakespeare. Option D, Henry Fielding. The correct answer is option B, Geoffrey Chaucer. Geoffrey Chaucer fits because Troilus and Cressida is a Middle English narrative poem focused on love, fortune, and betrayal. Henry Fielding is linked to Tom Jones. William Shakespeare is linked to Hamlet. Jonathan Swift points instead to Gulliver's Travels, so it does not match this clue. Question 86. Preparing a CLEP-style clue. During passage analysis, which term matches the clue that a comparison explicitly uses like or as? Option A, paradox. Option B, synecdoche. Option C, simile. Option D, metaphor. The correct answer is option C, simile. Simile fits because simile is the figure of comparison signaled by words such as like or as. Metaphor is wrong because metaphor implies comparison without those words. Synecdoche and paradox describe different features, so they do not fit this clue. Question 87. Studying a CLEP-style clue. On a CLEP study card, which writer belongs with Robinson Crusoe? Option A, Robert Browning. Option B, Derek Walcott. Option C, Daniel Defoe. Option D, Geoffrey Chaucer. The correct answer is option C, Daniel Defoe. Daniel Defoe fits because Robinson Crusoe is an early English novel using realism, survival narrative, and economic individualism. Derek Walcott is linked to Omrose. Geoffrey Chaucer is linked to the Canterbury Tales. Robert Browning points instead to My Last Duchess, so it does not match this clue. Question 88. Recognizing a CLEP-style clue. Identify the writer normally connected with Dover Beach. Option A, Charlotte Brontë. Option B, James Joyce. Option C, Alfred, Lord Tennyson. Option D, Matthew Arnold. The correct answer is option D, Matthew Arnold. Matthew Arnold fits because Dover Beach is a Victorian lyric often linked with religious doubt, melancholy, and cultural uncertainty. Alfred, Lord Tennyson is linked to In Memoriam AHH. Charlotte Brontë is linked to Jane Eyre. James Joyce points instead to Ulysses, so it does not match this clue. Question 89. Examining a CLEP-style clue. Recognizing George Orwell should lead to which title? Option A, Pride and Prejudice. Option B, The Waste Land. Option C, 1984. Option D, Heart of Darkness. The correct answer is option C, 1984. 1984 fits because it is George Orwell's work, a dystopian political novel about surveillance, language control, and totalitarian power. Pride and Prejudice is associated with Jane Austen. The Waste Land is associated with T.S. Eliot. Heart of Darkness belongs with Joseph Conrad, not this author clue. Question 90. How should a character clue about Prospero be answered? Option A, Beowulf. Option B, The Tempest. Option C, The Importance of Being Earnest. Option D, Orinoco. The correct answer is option B, The Tempest. Prospero is the magician and exiled ruler in Shakespeare's late romance. Lear belongs to King Lear, Gulliver belongs to Swift's satire, Okonkwo belongs to Things Fall Apart. Question 91. On a CLEP study card, which writer belongs with lyrical ballads? Option A, Oscar Wilde. Option B, William Shakespeare. Option C, Aphra Behn. Option D, William Wordsworth. The correct answer is option D, William Wordsworth. William Wordsworth fits because Lyrical Ballads is a landmark romantic collection favoring ordinary language, nature, feeling, and imagination. Oscar Wilde is linked to The Importance of Being Earnest. Aphra Behn is linked to Orinoco. William Shakespeare points instead to Hamlet, so it does not match this clue. Question 92. Testing a CLEP-style clue. Recognizing writing that mocks vice, folly, or corruption to criticize it points to which term? Option A, stream of consciousness. Option B, sestet. Option C, satire. Option D, blank verse. The correct answer is option C, satire. Satire fits because it means writing that mocks vice, folly, or corruption to criticize it. Stream of consciousness and blank verse refer to different literary concepts, not this exact clue. Sestet is also different, elegy mourns loss, romance emphasizes adventure or idealized love, lyric expresses personal feeling. Question 93. Comparing a CLEP-style clue, which work is tied to Charles Dickens? Option A. Sonnets. Option B. Great Expectations. Option C. Hard Times. Option D. Mrs. Dalloway. The correct answer is option C. Hard Times. Hard Times fits because it is Charles Dickens's work, a Victorian social problem novel criticizing industrial utilitarianism and dehumanizing education. Mrs. Dalloway is associated with Virginia Woolf, Sonnets is associated with William Shakespeare. Great Expectations belongs with Charles Dickens, not this author clue. Question 94. Tracing a CLEP-style clue, can the Pilgrim's Progress help identify which author? Option A. Elizabeth Barrett Browning. Option B. John Bunyan. Option C. Derek Walcott. Option D. Alexander Pope. The correct answer is option B. John Bunyan. John Bunyan fits because The Pilgrim's Progress is a religious allegory that turns Christian life into a symbolic journey. Alexander Pope is linked to the Rape of the Lock, Derek Walcott is linked to Olmos. Elizabeth Barrett Browning points instead to sonnets from the Portuguese, so it does not match this clue. Question 95. Interpreting a CLEP-style clue among these terms, which one names a narrative in which characters or events carry sustained symbolic or moral meanings? Option A. Allegory. Option B. Personification. Option C. Kenning. Option D. Comedy of manners. The correct answer is option A. Allegory. Allegory fits because it means a narrative in which characters or events carry sustained symbolic or moral meanings. Comedy of manners and personification refer to different literary concepts, not this exact clue. Kenning is also different, metaphor is a shorter implied comparison, realism imitates ordinary life, caesura is a pause inside a poetic line. Question 96. Preparing a CLEP-style clue, choose the work most closely linked with Oscar Wilde. Option A. The Golden Notebook. Option B. The Importance of Being Earnest. Option C. Sons and Lovers. Option D. The Remains of the Day. The correct answer is option B. The Importance of Being Earnest. The Importance of Being Earnest fits because it is Oscar Wilde's work, a late Victorian comedy of manners built on wit, double identities, and social satire. The Remains of the Day is associated with Kazuo Ishiguro. The Golden Notebook is associated with Doris Lessing. Sons and Lovers belongs with D. H. Lawrence, not this author clue. Question 97. Studying a CLEP-style clue among these choices, which one explains a passage where a 14-line poem divides into an octave and sestet? Option A. Petrarchan sonnet. Option B. Ballad. Option C. Shakespearean sonnet. Option D. Villanelle. The correct answer is option A. Petrarchan sonnet. Petrarchan sonnet fits because the Petrarchan sonnet usually turns between an 8-line octave and a 6-line sestet. Shakespearean sonnet is wrong because Shakespearean sonnets use 3 quatrains and a closing couplet. Ballad and villanelle describe different features, so they do not fit this clue. Question 98. Recognizing a CLEP-style clue, can Frankenstein help identify which author? Option A. James Joyce. Option B. John Bunyan. Option C. Mary Shelley. Option D. George Eliot. The correct answer is option C. Mary Shelley. Mary Shelley fits because Frankenstein is a Gothic and romantic novel about creation, responsibility, isolation, and ambition. John Bunyan is linked to The Pilgrim's Progress, George Eliot is linked to Middlemarch. James Joyce points instead to Ulysses, so it does not match this clue. Question 99. On a CLEP study card, which writer belongs with The Waste Land? Option A. T.S. Eliot. Option B. Joseph Conrad. Option C. Andrew Marvell. Option D. Christopher Marlowe. The correct answer is option A. T.S. Eliot. T.S. Eliot fits because The Waste Land is a modernist poem marked by fragmentation, illusion, spiritual dryness, and cultural crisis. Andrew Marvell is linked to his coy mistress, Christopher Marlowe is linked to Dr. Faustus. Joseph Conrad points instead to Heart of Darkness, so it does not match this clue. Question 100. Considering a CLEP-style clue, identify the writer normally connected with the Canterbury Tales. Option A. Percy Bysshe Shelley. Option B. George Herbert. Option C. Geoffrey Chaucer. Option D. Jonathan Swift. The correct answer is option C. Geoffrey Chaucer. Geoffrey Chaucer fits because the Canterbury Tales is a Middle English frame narrative that uses pilgrims to create a state satire. Jonathan Swift is linked to Gulliver's Travels, George Herbert is linked to The Temple. Percy Bysshe Shelley points instead to Ode to the West Wind, so it does not match this clue.